Homeschooling with Camille. I am Camille A. Stalker, and I am a homeschool mom of 2 girls, a first and a third grader, and I am here to take you on our journey of what we do in our homeschool with Homeschooling with me. So before I get into my intro, please subscribe to Stalker Family Values channel, like and comment. Tell me if you are a homeschool family, if you're not, if you're thinking about it. Even if you're not, if your kids are in public school, what are you reading? What are they learning? Tell me. I would like to know. So now that I got that out the way, guess what? It's Friday. Happy Friday. And it's Friday, but it is also my April book roundup. So today is the last Friday of April, and I'm kind of excited about that because I've been having to do it like in the next month. So today is the last Friday, and I have a lot of goodies to show. But before we get into that, the people that we celebrated this week. We only did 4. Today we did not get into it because we had a poetry activity that we took it in. So the person on Monday was Gwen Eiffel. She was a Black news anchor, and she was an anchor at PBS for the news hour. On Tuesday, we celebrated Charles Henry Turner. He was a zoologist and an educator. On Wednesday, Claudia Jones. She was an activist and a journalist. She was originally from Trinidad, but she moved to the USA. Then she was deported to England, and while she was in the UK, this is where she had the carnival big in the UK. So she made it really big. In 1959 was when the first carnival in London was held. Next, on Thursday, we talked about Monet Davis, and she was the first girl to play in the Little League World Series in 2014 at the age of 13. All right, and that is the people that we celebrated. We didn't, like I said, we didn't get one in today, but that's fine. This week we also did, well, they had book reports to do. There was lots of math drills and spelling tests. Not this week, that was today. And a spelling test that they both knew all the words to. The math drills were kind of difficult, I guess. I'm not sure. It was a little struggle today. And their book reports were on books that I'm going to tell in our April roundup. So what else did we do before I get into that? Oh, this week we also watched, because we are learning about baseball, we watched the movie 42, which is about Jackie Robinson and how he went from the Negro Leagues into Major Leagues. So that was a good story. We also watched Rookie of the Year, which is on Disney. You know, a cute little movie of a little boy who breaks his arm, and then he can throw these super fast balls really fast. Then the next movie we watched was A League of Their Own, which is talking about the women league during the war when women had the baseball league. So I do suggest, of course, some of those movies that I did name are not appropriate for some kids. So if you don't mind your children watching some of that and hearing the language, then I suggest those are some good movies. If not, don't do it. All right, so April book roundup. What have we been reading? So first up, one of the books that I've said before, and this will probably always be in the roundup, is The Little Dreamers, Visionary Women Around the World. That is by Vashti Harrison. That is where we are finding some of the women that they pick to celebrate. So they use that book heavily. The next book in our April roundup is A Black Woman Did That. 42 boundary-breaking, bar-raising, world-changing women, and this is by Malika Adero and illustrated by Shantae Timothy. Next up, this we just finished on Today is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. We finished this on Wednesday. We finished this book on Wednesday. So it's called What Were the Negro Leagues? And this is by Varian Johnson. So it tells about all the players who played in the Negro Leagues, how it started, why it ended, and yeah, get some good information. It has some really good pictures in it. It is a part of the Who Was series. So they give you a lot of information. So that is What Were the Negro Leagues? Next up on my book roundup, My Black Me, a beginning book of Black poetry, and this is edited by Arnold Adolph. So it takes a lot of older poets like Langston Hughes, Nikki Giovanni, and they put these Black poems together, which has been good. And since we do have a poem every day, they've been picking the poems from that, so I just want to share that one with you. I'm gonna save this one for last. Next up on my list for April book roundup, Baseball for Kids, a young fan's guide to the history of the game. We have not finished this book, but it is a part of our reading, and we are going to be finishing it probably in the next week. Baseball, that has been our unit, talking about baseball, what is baseball, all of that. So, and this is by Adam C. McKinnon. Next up, I Love Being Me. This is a step into reading book. It's something cute that I had purchased just for them to, love the skin that you're in. It's written and illustrated by Mikal Renee Rowe. Once a Mouse. This is by Marcia Brown, and this is like a one of those folk tales where a man helps a mouse, and he continues to help, and then changing this mouse into different animals. But once he gets too pretty or too beautiful, he starts to not be appreciative. So it's like a lesson in that, and that, like I said, is Once a Mouse, Marcia Brown. Next up, The 12 Dancing Princesses, and this is retold and illustrated by Rachel Isadora. And these are like African tales. They read like she retold them, and so the pictures are very, very pretty, very, very bright, vibrant. So yeah, that's a good one. And then next is The Princess and the Pea, retold and illustrated by Rachel Isadora. This is also like takes a take on the African story side. Is very vibrant as well. The pictures are beautiful. I like a book with good pictures. Next up, because it has been Poetry Month, we celebrated Poetry Wednesday, but we've had a poem every day. We did do this book, Change Sings, a children's anthem, and the words are by Amanda Gorman and pictures by Lauren Long. So pretty. The story is like tremendous. The murals in the book that have been created by Lauren Long, beautiful, beautiful, but the message of it is really nice as well. Also, since I'm still on poetry, it's Poetry for Young People, and this is Maya Angelou, edited by Edwin Graves Wilson, PhD, and illustrated by Jerome Laguerriere. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, but that's also a poetry book. We did read a couple of poems from Maya Angelou, and it is a book of her poems. What's next? Next up is, I'm going to give you the books that they just did their book reports on, which is Who's in Love with Arthur, and that is a Mark Brown book, chapter book. And Ava finished, that was Isabel's finished reading. Ava finished reading Miss Brown is Upside Down, and that is by Dan Gutman and pictures by Jim Pallett. So those are what they did their book reports on today. I have two more. I'm gonna say, man, both of these are really good, but I'm gonna save like the best for last. So one of the poem books that we have been heavily going into and like really reading and enjoying is called Honey, I Love and Other Love Poems, and this is by Eloise Greenfield, and pictures by Diane and Leo Dillon. It's a reading rainbow book. That's what got me to it. I also found some worksheets to do with some of the poems in here. So today we did the poetry activity, which was on the rope and rhyme. And it was just a real cute, like if you're skipping rope, a real cute thing to do with that. So I'm enjoying this book so much. We're not done with it. We haven't read all the poems, but so good, so good. Now, last book in Camille's April book roundup, I can never get it right, is Finding Langston, a novel. And this is by Lisa Klein Ransom. This is a series of 3 books: Finding Langston, Leaving Lyman, and Being Clem. So the next book that I will be purchasing is Leaving Lyman. Really cute book. It takes place in Chicago, and it's like talking, he finds that out about poets, and one of the poets is Langston Hughes, but his name is also Langston, and he is hiding this fact that he loves poetry from his dad. His mother has passed away. He left from the South and came up north, and so he's trying to figure out this big city, and people are bullying him and calling him country boy. Oh my goodness, this was a good read. I highly recommend it, and if you read this one, then I suggest that you read Leaving Lyman as well. Can't wait to read that one. So that is it for Camille's April book roundup. Very, very good. All right, so what's to come in May? So I changed their date of doing their poetry presentations to May. I'm not sure what day in May. Sometime in May they will be doing the poetry presentations. We will be continuing our baseball unit because there's so much that we do not know about baseball, and it's so interesting, and there are more baseball movies that I would like to watch. We are also winding down on workbooks. Pretty soon there is not going to be any more work that needs to be done in those workbooks until September. But during our summertime, whenever we end, which is not, our homeschooling really doesn't ever end, we will be doing daily reads, meaning they will have to still read a chapter a day. There will be math drills, or if not math drills, then they will be doing flashcards or some type of worksheet. We still will be doing Saxon math. That might be the only workbook that we are working out of Saxon math until September, when we go to the next grade, which will be 4th and 2nd. I will continue reading aloud books, like I said, the Leaving Lyman, and finishing that series for the Finding Langston. Excuse me. I also want to start on the Chronicles of Narnia series. I want to get that going during the summertime and probably finish all of those books. So we shall see. Of course, I'm not going anywhere. Every week I will be back with Homeschooling with Camille. I have a good one for next week, but that is it. Those are all the books that we have read. Those are the things that we have been doing. Oh, I also have an activity about names that I am planning to do. So I will share that with you whenever we do that. Hopefully I will get that done before May. If not, then we're going to go right into June doing it. So that is all I have. Let me know if you have read any of these books down below in the comments. If you have any suggestions of some books that we should read, let me know down below in the comments. Thank you for watching. So, as always, I pray you have a blessed day. I pray you have a blessed weekend. I pray you have a blessed week. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.